You think you know Rome. You picture crumbling columns, the Colosseum, and a low, beautiful horizon defined by history. But just outside that postcard image, a secret battle for the sky is happening. A city famous for holding on to the past is silently building its vertical future. This is the story of the 5 colossal structures that define the true, unexpected height of the Eternal City, starting with the quiet foundations of modern Rome. The paradox of Rome's height. Rome is perhaps the only global capital where history is legally taller than commerce. For nearly 2,000 years, the city has enforced some of the world's strictest height restrictions. Back in ancient times, emperors worried about flimsy apartment blocks called insulae catching fire or collapsing and capped their height at around 20 meters. Today, that tradition continues. Because of strict preservation laws, Rome made a conscious decision. Vertical growth must happen away from the historic core. This led to the creation of the EUR, a modernist neighborhood originally planned for a world fair. This is where Rome's tallest modern structures are clustered, forming a separate skyline in the suburbs, deliberately far from the ancient monuments. The EUR district, where our modern list begins, is itself a study in monumental ambition, full of striking block-like architecture. In this setting, designed for large-scale corporate and administrative efficiency, we find our tallest structures. Our countdown begins with a building that perfectly represents the star of modern corporate ambition in Rome. Number 5. The corporate pioneer Palazzo Iannai. The 5th tallest major structure on our list is the Palazzo Iannai, a corporate landmark that stands 80 meters tall. Completed in the year 1962, this building was one of the earliest high-rises in Rome's new EUR district, making it a true pioneer. It was designed to be the headquarters for the State Energy Company, a beacon of Italy's post-war economic boom. At 22 floors, the Palazzo Iannai set the standard for high-rise office architecture in the city for decades. Its construction marked a major shift. Up until the early 60s, the average building height in Rome's metropolitan area rarely exceeded 25 meters. The Palazzo Iannai broke that mold, showing that Italy could build for efficiency and modernity, even if it had to do so far outside the old city walls. It was a concrete and glass signal that a functional modern Rome was taking shape, operating in parallel with the historic one. Its height was the initial benchmark for corporate scale in the Eternal City. Number 4. The monumental anchor, the Altare della Patria. Next, we move back toward the very heart of the Eternal City for a truly colossal landmark, the Altare della Patria, the altar of the fatherland. While not a habitable building, this monument is one of the most vertically dominant structures in the historic center. Its total architectural height, including the immense crowning statues of Victory and the bronze chariots, reaches 81 meters. This makes it only 1 meter taller than the Palazzo Ini, but its impact is enormous because of where it sits. Right in the middle of Rome, near the Campidoglio Hill, commanding the surrounding piazza. The sheer scale of this building, which is about 135 meters wide, demands attention. Constructed from bright white Botticino marble, the monument has always been a subject of controversy. Some Romans love it as a symbol of united Italy, while others criticize its grand scale next to the ancient ruins. In fact, the massive bronze equestrian statue of King Victor Emmanuel II, which sits prominently on the upper terrace, had to be cast in 13 separate pieces before being hoisted into place, demonstrating an engineering effort rivaling the modern high-rises. The monument stands as a vertical guardian of the historic core. It tells you, visually, where the center is. For decades, this 81-meter height was the unspoken maximum for any structure that dared to sit near the ancient core. Number 3. The modern business pillar, Torre Europarco. Moving back to the modern EUR business district, we find our 3rd tallest structure, the Torre Europarco, which reaches a height of 120 meters. This tower is a true glass and steel skyscraper. Completed in the year 2012, it stands as the central pillar of the sprawling Europarco Business Park, which is essentially Rome's version of the financial districts in London or Paris. With 30 floors, it accommodates large-scale institutional tenants, including the offices for the Rome Metropolitan City Authority and the Lazio Regional Board of Education. The design of the Torre Europarco is focused purely on efficiency, technology, and resilience. Built with an anti-seismic steel and concrete structure, it represents the highest standards for modern construction in Italy. Its striking white matte shell, a facade composed of specialized aluminum sheets and glazed units, was carefully designed not only for aesthetics, but also to improve energy efficiency by controlling the light and heat entering the building. This 120-meter height sets a clear parameter for acceptable scale for major administrative headquarters within the designated peripheral zone. Its existence is the clearest physical proof of Rome's strategy. Verticality is allowed, even encouraged, but only in this one specific, designated zone. It's a pragmatic solution that keeps the business running without sacrificing the soul of the ancient city. If you're finding this unexpected journey through Rome's hidden high-rises fascinating, please take a moment to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. We dive into the colossal structures and surprising engineering feats around the world every week. Now back to the battle for the sky. Number 2, the symbolic ceiling, St. Peter's Basilica. Our number 2 spot isn't a modern building at all. It is the single most important structure in the Roman skyline, the one that every single architect must measure their ambition against, the soaring dome of St. Peter's Basilica. This magnificent religious structure defines the city's altitude. From the ground to the very top of the cross that crowns its lantern, the dome reaches an extraordinary height of 136.6 meters. For centuries, this was the undisputed king of the Roman sky. Michelangelo designed it to be massive, referencing the Pantheon and the Florence Duomo, making it the tallest dome in the world. To put its scale in context, the dome's internal diameter, measuring over 41 meters, is only slightly smaller than the Pantheon's 43-meter dome, but its vertical reach is far greater. It was a deliberate statement of Christian power and architectural mastery that had to hold its own against the great domes of history. The visual effect is undeniable. The dome established a psychological ceiling that no builder, politician, or emperor, not even in the fascist era, dared to violate. This dome is the ultimate expression of historical authority over modern scale. The Basilica's sheer visual dominance means that even today, when you look at the low, compact Roman skyline, it is the first and most recognizable vertical structure you see. It set a psychological ceiling that no builder, politician, or emperor, not even in the fascist era, dared to violate. This dome is the ultimate expression of historical authority over modern scale. Number 1, the modern champion, Torre Eurosky. Topping our list and the only structure to definitively stand taller than the ceiling set by St. Peter's is the Torre Eurosky, Rome's tallest habitable building. This residential skyscraper stands at a commanding height of 155 meters. Completed in the year 2012, Torre Eurosky is a true residential giant with 30 floors. Crucially, it had to be built on the very border of the EUR Business Park in the Torino area to avoid disrupting the historic viewsheds. Its design by architect Franco Purini is a masterful nod to the past. It was directly inspired by Rome's medieval defense towers, such as the Torre del Milizie, merging historical visual cues with 21st century construction. This tower's height, barely surpassing the Basilica, is a delicate balancing act. It is the peak of modern engineering in the city, but it respects the preservation rules by being placed in a peripheral zone, far enough away that it doesn't visually compete with or overshadow the historic center. Furthermore, the structure is celebrated for its commitment to sustainability, having won the prestigious Real Estate Award Smart Green Building. This recognition came from its high-tech features, including integrated photovoltaic panels on the facade and rainwater collection systems, making it a model for eco-friendly vertical living. The fact that Rome's single highest structure is a luxury residential tower and not a corporate office indicates where the economic value of verticality currently lies in the Eternal City. The unbuilt giant. To understand just how dedicated Rome is to its height limits, consider this. Back in the 1920s, plans were proposed for the Mole Littoria, a monumental skyscraper intended to stand over 330 meters tall. It would have been one of the tallest buildings on Earth at the time, competing directly with the first American super talls being built in New York and Chicago. but the project was scrapped before construction, largely due to overwhelming public opposition and cultural resistance. Rome simply chose its history over the super tall modern craze, leaving the Torre Eurosky to hold the quiet contemporary title. The story of Rome's skyline is one of profound choice, a refusal to trade historical soul for vertical scale. They didn't build tall, they built smart, concentrating their modern ambition in a single area while protecting the incomparable heritage of the ancient city. What do you think of Rome's strategy? Should they be building more super talls in the EUR district, or is the current height limit perfect for preserving the city's unique character? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Rome's secret vertical world, please hit the like button, subscribe for more captivating construction stories, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thank you for watching.